Smoke and fire consume New York's snowy streets as debris crushes a van. Crowds flee. The Manhattan Bridge looms. Something terrible is happening. Mary Jane shouts, "Tiger!" Spider-Man drags himself from bridge wreckage, bloodied but alive. "Ouch," he mutters. Mary Jane freezes at his ruined arm. He smirks, joking, but a screech cuts through. Cadaverous looms, a grotesque mix of metal and flesh, voice glitching as drones swarm. Creatures lunge. Peter shields MJ, claws tearing him. "MJ, go!" he yells. They pin him, bloodied. Mary Jane gasps as Cadaverous strikes, claws plunging through her. He hurls her from the bridge. Peter's world shatters. He webs the bridge, yanks free, catches her mid-fall, and hits the icy river. Cadaverous hisses, "Get him." Snow covers Mary Jane's casket. Peter, armless, stands cold. News praises Spider-Man, but he and Ben listen in silence, grieving. 12 years go by. Ben moves through his morning, brushing, dressing, tossing trash, and fixing breakfast. At school, Ben spots the all-too-familiar scene, a bully tormenting a smaller kid, forcing him to humiliate himself. He doesn't hesitate to step in, but sharply, Roland then takes a jab, a cruel dig at Ben's mother. Ben shoves Roland through a classroom door, landing him in the principal's office. Ben slouches, unbothered. He mutters, "They all deserved it." Then the door opens. Peter Parker walks in. Later, in a car, Ben slouches in the seat, arms crossed. Peter's here, but not for him, just between flights. Peter lectures. He fought to get Ben detention instead of suspension. Ben argues that he was protecting someone. Peter calls it selfish. The two argue until Ben shouts back that he doesn't know his father and Peter doesn't know him. Peter slams on the brakes. The two argue more, and Ben's eyes fill with tears and frustration. He's close to home now and decides to walk, allowing Peter to head to the airport. The door shuts and Peter drives off. Ben steps onto the porch, reaching for the doorknob. It won't turn. His brow furrows. Locked? No. His hand won't let go. A spark of panic flares as he tugs, but his grip stays firm, almost fused to the brass. He pulls harder. Nothing. Frustration turns to force. He yanks with everything he has. The door rips free, splintering apart as he stumbles back, landing hard. The entrance is wrecked. Later, Ben lies sprawled across his bed, a photo of Mary Jane pressed against his chest. A knock at the door. Aunt May appears, questioning him about the front door. Holding his head in frustration, the boy had no answer. Detention drags until Faye Ito strides in, covered in paint. She drops into a seat, arms crossed next to Ben, and it doesn't take long for him to start teasing her. It doesn't take long for Faye Ito to open up, and before you know it, she's standing in the classroom making her issues known. A teacher, openly sexist, never punished. 2 years in this place and nothing changes. The green paint used to make a statement. The two quickly understood each other. In a crimson-lit layer, Cadaverous looms over flickering monitors, his voice glitching through frustration. Another failure. The key is missing, but the search won't stop. A containment tube glows below, a figure suspended in silence. Cadaverous stares, his voice a whisper in the dark. "You and I." Peter boards, phone to his ear. It's Aunt May talking about Ben, urging him to realize he should be there for his son. Peter deflects, believing Ben is better off without him. Bye. The call ends. He's gone. In a blood-red void, Ben stands alone, knee-deep in liquid that ripples beneath him. A familiar voice calls his name. He turns. It's Mary Jane. She stands before him. Blood stains her skin, her clothes. She's slipping away. Ben lurches forward, but the red moves first. The liquid grabs him, rising, twisting around his limbs. It's alive. The liquid yanks him down. His scream for help barely escapes before the red devours him whole. Ben jerks awake, but the bed is beneath him, far beneath him. He's on the ceiling. Aunt May appears in the doorway, unfazed. She's seen this before. With a gentle smile, she readies to help him down. There's something he needs to see. Ben climbs into the attic. He pries open a panel, a box labeled memories. Inside, photos. His parents before everything changed. Beneath them, secrets. A Daily Bugle press pass. Peter Parker. A stack of letters. Mary Jane's handwriting. And then, there it was. He lifts it. Dust and tears amidst crimson and black. The Spider-Man suit. Shrouded and grotesque, Cadaverous stands before a red glow, his cybernetic form marred by exposed wires and corruption. Despite countless failures, he grins, determined to begin again. In a small kitchen, Ben, angry and unforgiving, blames Peter for his mother's death, while May, grieving, defends Peter's pain and goodness. Ben calls Peter a freak and coward for abandoning them. May insists he was broken but loves Ben. Later at school, Ben stares at a Spider-Man photo on his phone. Faye startles him. He crushes the screen, blaming a drop. Faye teases him about taking down Roland. Impressed, she asks for his address to meet later. Ben stares at the Spider-Man suit on the grill, lighter in hand, determined to destroy it and hide his freak nature from her. Aunt May questions him gently, but he ignites it anyway. As flames erupt, the doorbell rings and he mutters, "I'm normal," forcing calm. Ben opens the door to Faye, his date, in a high-tech black suit and mask. She pulls it off, smirking. "It's me, Faye." He stammers, joking about a costume party, while Aunt May chuckles behind him. Faye reveals she's the marker, confusing Ben. She asks if he has a mask, smirking about their destination. Panicked, he checks the grill. Only ash remains. Aunt May cuts in. He had more than one. Aunt May hands Ben another Spider-Man suit. Faye gasps, recognizing it, while May smiles. "Be yourself." Ben clutches the mask, unsure but nudged forward by Faye's ready. In a dark chamber, Cadaverous grins at his army. "With this, we begin again. Heal and find what we need." Vials line the walls as he rasps, "Ready to save the world." Ben Parker, the new Spider-Man, meets Faye Ito in a back alley. She's bold, energetic, and clearly up to something illegal, spray painting messages about workers' rights. Ben is skeptical, but Faye insists ninth graders can change the world. Outside a corporate building, Faye vandalizes the sign while explaining her philosophy. Power doesn't give responsibility. Responsibility creates power. She challenges Ben's hero worship, dismissing his Spider-Man legacy as just a great cosplay. But before the debate can continue, someone yells, "Hold it!" Cops, a squad, confronts them. Ben and Faye raise their hands, but she's already planning an escape. Whispering to Ben, she dares him. Ready to be a hero? Then she bolts. Surrounded by NYPD, Ben and Faye seem completely trapped. Faye urges him to stay cool, but Ben is sweating. Then, an idea. "I can do something," he says, determination kicking in. Faye is skeptical until Ben fires his web shooters. Ben swings into action, grabbing Faye as they shoot into the air. Faye is freaking out, swinging through the city in Ben's arms. She demands answers. Ben finally spills. His dad was the Spider-Man, which he hates, but now he has powers too. It's all his dad's fault. Below, people watch in awe, some recording the moment. Their swing ends with a crash into a rooftop wall. Ben awkwardly tries to apologize for dumping his life story midair. Faye? She's thrilled. Sitting near a mural of fallen heroes, she grins. Elsewhere, a sinister figure watches. It's Cadaverous, a hooded, grotesque presence, staring at footage of Ben's aerial escape. "It has returned. My children, bring us the key." He grins. Ben is now on his radar, but he's not the only one who sees the news. Ben is hesitant. On a video call, Faye is hyped, calling their swing a sign that heroes are back. But Ben doubts himself. He's not Spider-Man. Cadaverous, unseen, whispers in the dark, watching, waiting. Breaking news, an explosion at Oscorp. Ben, lying upside down in bed, sees the alert. This isn't a game. We aren't just playing dress up. He stares at his phone, realizing, ready or not, he's in this now. Ben swings into the wreckage of Oscorp, struggling with his own identity as he sifts through the ruins. Is this who I am? His doubts are interrupted by a faint voice. Someone trapped beneath the rubble, trying to mask his nerves. Ben cracks a joke as he lifts debris, revealing a battered reporter. Ben helps the man walk, but the conversation turns strange. The reporter is skeptical. Ben looks like a hero, acts like a hero, but is he really Spider-Man? Ben hesitates. Before he can answer, his spider sense flares. A swarm of grotesque cybernetic creatures emerges from the wreckage. Their shrieks pierce the air as they lunge forward. Ben, still holding the injured man, has no choice. He leaps into action. Ben fights back. Using his strength and brains, he webs up the monstrous creatures, taking them down in one motion. He doesn't stick around, now swinging away, leaving the chaos behind. Ben arrives home. Exhausted, he pulls off his mask, only to freeze. Standing there, waiting for him, is his father, Peter Parker. "Hey there, Spider-Man.